Hey, it's AT time. My name is Ron Friedman, and today on Animation Trainers, we're going to be trying something a little different. I'm doing an animation that's actually showing how we're going to animate overlap and follow through using this Pendulum rig, and there's going to be a link to that rig in the description, so you can download it yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to animate some overlap and follow through using this rig, but the reason I'm whispering is because I love ASMR. And a lot of times in ASMR, they'll show you stuff like this. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun to combine this with some ASMR? So, welcome to our first episode of ASMRnimation. All right, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have the curves selected. And we're going to drag select these guys and create a selection set real quick. Called Pendulum Controls, something like that. And I'm going to set a key here at the very beginning. And what we're going to do is we're going to animate this guy just moving from this point here. Let's just figure out some time. Whoop, like that. And it's going to move over here and kind of get up in this position, like that. And what we can do is we can give that some interest. So let's have it do a little anticipation first. So what I did was middle mouse clicked and I dragged that over to number 7, frame 7, so that it'll be in that position. But now we're going to take it and we're going to tweak it a little bit and give it a little anticipation and have it go like that. So now it's going, and then it's going to dip down, maybe something like this, and drag even more. So it goes, yep. And then once we get in here, I think it could be starting to settle or something like that. Like, whew. Okay, let's see. Kind of want it to continue up a little like there. So maybe here it dips down, like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, let's see. So it's going up here and then comes through there. And you'll notice that there's this bump. And that bump, we can actually see that right here in the Translate Y. See that wooge? What we're going to do is by dragging this and moving this like that, this will now continue through and continue down. In fact, we can bring it even lower if we really want to, like that. And then we can see what the curve is doing. We just make it look nice in the curve like that. And then bring this up. Let this kind of do its thing. We can check the Z, make sure that that's not doing anything too weird. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Okay. And then that's the rotation. So here, let's see, we can do something like this. All right. Whew. Okay. Whoa. I want it to settle kind of higher than it normally would, like that. So, whoosh. And that's where it's going to end up. So now I'm going to delete this key. Just remove key. Can I just delete? Delete. There we go. All right. So now over here, I'm going to let it kind of overshoot the rotation. See, so you can see that rotate key. I'm going to kill this one now so that it flows into that. So it goes whoosh. And then we'll eventually settle to that and be zeroed out. So we'll go up there and zero it out. Oops. What I meant to do is zero out just the rotation, like that. Okay. So now, going back to this. All right. So if we look in this viewport, whoosh. Okay. I think I wanted to have settled almost entirely. Yeah, see how we're going to have it go whoa, 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 whoa. So what we can do is tone that down, tone this down so that it gets settled by 60. But the reason that the scene is 100 frames long is because we're going to have the little guys underneath it also settle, and that'll take extra time. All right, so let's go ahead and press play again. Like that, okay. I kind of wanted to be even less and even less. I think it could be more subtle. All right, let's see what that looks like here. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty good. But I think maybe it's coming still a little too soon. So we'll stop it at 64 instead, and we'll zoom in on here and make that really slow in. Okay, now let's see what that looks like here. Whoosh. Cool. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this like so we don't lose the work we've done. And now I'm going to grab this first chain, okay? This is where we're going to start our overlap stuff. So I'm going to start here. And basically, the whole idea of overlap and follow through is as this is going like that, that's got its own weight. So it's going to drag, and then when it changes direction, it's going to do this kind of thing, right? Serpentine. So we're going to animate that. All right, so as it starts to go, that should be dragging like that. And you'll notice that I'm kind of working straight ahead, kind of like what I was talking about with the whole Norm Ferguson Pluto thing. I'm just working straight ahead because I already have that primary mover. The primary mover, that platform, that's basically Pluto's butt. And the stuff below it is the tail, right? But we're also animating it as if it had weight of gravity, So it's not quite a tail. All right. So I got it going like this, and by here, that should definitely be dragging in the opposite direction. Like that, and then I would say by here would be when it would reach its full length, because you can kind of time it out, It's like here would be dragging, here would still be dragging, and then somewhere around here is when it's going to start settling, and I would say like that. So it's like whoosh, and maybe there, and then let's say by frame 80 it's going to be zeroed out, because I know I want it to be still. So let's just press play. Whoosh. Yeah, that's way too long. Okay, so that's too slow. That needs, let's see, whoosh. Okay, and then that needs to, that's what it is. I need to animate in the opposite direction. Like this. All right, so now, if we take a look again. Whoosh. Still too slow, though. All right. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you just got to go by what the timing is, So let's go ahead and make that be here instead and see if that feels better here. That feels pretty good. I'd say, if anything, it could have just a little more settle, so maybe something like that. Let's see. Whoosh. Yeah, that feels pretty great. Okay, let's go ahead and save again. We'll save an iteration here. So I'm going to create a folder called iterations, because that'll be my main one. And iterations, I'm going to put _ 001. Half done, halfway done. Yeah, something like that. All right. Cool. So now, whoosh. Cool, so now let's move on to the next one. I'm going to grab that guy and make sure we have a key set at the first frame. And now we're going to start this doing its thing. So I'd say by here is when it's going to have its longest, right? And it's always going to be, a few frames after. So remember, when this one comes like this one's still going. When this one hits its end and it starts to go back, this one's still swinging, and it's going to be a little after that it hits its furthest. All right, so whoosh, pum, boom, somewhere in there should be when that guy is like this. All right, I would say that could still have some drag. Okay. By here. something like that. And let's say by 88, it's at 0. So I'll zero it out. Okay, and we'll just check the curve here to make sure. Okay, it's not too bad. Oops. Here, let's see what that looks like up here. So press play. Whoosh. Okay, it feels a little funky. So let's see if we can't figure out. Okay, so maybe frame 60. And then sooner, something like that. Let's see. Okay, pressing play. Whoosh. No. That's pretty good. Let's look at one more time. Yeah, there's something funky about that top one. I think I'm going to adjust that a little bit. So let's see. All right. Maybe by there. All right. Let's see. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, I think that needs to be, let's see. I'm just trying to envision where I want it to be, and I'd say that by there, so maybe it's dragging less. Wait. Okay, that'll be the furthest, whoops. That'll be the furthest point that this one goes. Yeah, 60, okay. I think that one needs to be a little further. Maybe another frame later. Something like that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Here we go. Okay. I think this last one can come back much sooner. So let's go ahead and bring that to here. All right, see what that looks like. I think this top one needs to go further, longer. It needs to go at least to here. All right. And it's going to take until there at least to settle again. Okay, now let's see what that looks like. Because we can always make the scene longer. You know, we can always extend the length. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So I'd say by here is when that second one will hit its furthest, which would be that. Nope. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, but that's 0. So I want it to actually be like 0 would be here. Okay, so this will be a little like that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Cool. All right, let's do the last one and see what that looks like, and we'll save, and we'll call it 0, 2, 2/3. Done. Okay. Now let's grab the last one. I actually have almost a little going in the opposite direction, like that. And then there's going to be the last furthest point that's going to be like that. I think we can drag that back a little in order to give it that line so that we maintain that curve like that. And then we want to do the same thing here, give it, keep that going. And I'd say by there is when that should be at its furthest, like that. And then there about would be when that's at its, because it basically is like if you look at when this one goes and this one goes and then that one should go, right? So if it goes dun, dun, you know when that third one should hit, right? So it's like it goes dun, dun, dun. See? Boom, boom, boom. And then Same thing here. It should hit that extreme by there-ish. And then again here. Something like that. Oh, maybe more like that. Okay. So we'll just frame this out. Move that over. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. And then I'd say like halfway almost through, and we can just look at the graph editor here and say, okay, this one's going to just be like that, right? So if that one goes like this, that one goes like that, just to give it a little settle. So let's see what it looks like. Okay. I don't like that last little bit. Let's see. Cool. Obviously, we could finagle the timing a little, but you get the general idea, right? Anyway, so that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you dug the ASMR stuff. And we'll see you next time here on Animation Trainers. In the meantime, keep it quiet.